Hey guys, SJ from Ignore Limits here. Just wanted to make a quick video blog to talk about the truth about getting shredded and, lowering your body fat, losing water weight, all that type of thing. So, when we're talking about getting shredded, there's a few misconceptions, etc., that quite often come up, so let's talk about those. So the first thing is in terms of counting calories. So to get shredded, you don't actually have to count calories. You just have to be in a calorie deficit. So there's a number of ways we can ensure we're in a calorie deficit. You need to count calories to know your exact calorie number, but in terms of how much food you're eating, there's some certain principles we can imply to make sure that you are eating, less than if you're just eating, whatever you wanted essentially. So to ensure that you are in a calorie deficit, you want to be eating a large amount of protein. So you're going to be having protein with every meal because protein is going to make you fuller, calorie for calorie, than both carbohydrates and fats. You want to be drinking a lot of water as well. So consume, a couple of glasses of water with every meal if you can. You want to be drinking at least a gallon of water per day. You want to be increasing your dietary fiber intake, guys. So dietary fiber is going to be key here. So dietary fiber comes in, leafy vegetables, fruits a bit as well. So I recommend things like broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, etc. for your dietary fiber. The other thing you want to do is not so much focus on meal timing, because meal timing is irrelevant to body composition, but to focus on fitting your meals in a schedule that best suits you. So whether you want to implement an intermittent fasting style diet regime, whether you want to eat every 2 hours, that's entirely up to you. So from my experience, as well as studies I've read about and I can reference as well, it doesn't really make much of a difference in terms of your metabolism, how often you're eating. So the theory, that people say is by eating every couple of hours, you're giving your metabolism these little boosts, which is true. So your metabolism is slowly boosting with, each meal you're processing there. Whereas, however, if you are only eating a few big meals, so say you're not eating all day, then you do have one large meal, and then, you do have another large meal, those spikes are obviously bigger than if you're having those small meals. And yeah, research shows at the end of the day, it basically evens out, guys. So you want to eat to a schedule that's best suited for you. Now, in terms of actual exercises and regimes, things like that, cardio is useful for getting shredded. However, it isn't essential. So cardio is used simply to put your body in a calorie deficit. So let's say, you're eating 2,500 calories a day, and in order for you to lose fat, so your total daily energy expenditure, you can read more about this in my book, by the way, guys, which I'll talk about at the end. You need to be eating 2,000 calories a day. So what we can do is we can do 500 calories of cardio to bring us down to your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, and anything under that is where fat loss occurs. So you don't want to put yourself, way too far in there, because that's, what we call crash dieting, where you start to, you initially lose, fat at a ridiculous rate, and then, you end up damaging your metabolism, etc., which isn't sustainable. So yeah, essentially, guys, you want to work on a schedule that best suits you, and you want to ensure that you are in that calorie deficit, in terms of meals, etc. With your cardio, like I said, so that's just used to put you in that deficit. You can go in that deficit via diet alone. Obviously, eating more food is gonna, you're gonna feel better. It's more sustainable than just restricting by diet constantly. So, especially when you start to get into the single-digit body fats, you need to do, have a strict diet and then throw in that little bit of cardio to get yourself into that deficit in order to get shredded. Now, people think, cardio is the only way to lose that body fat. Well, lifting is, I would say, as good, if not better, because when you're on the treadmill, you're only burning calories for the duration of time you're performing the cardio. So if you're doing 20 minutes of cardio, you have that increased heart rate, that increased metabolic burn for those 20 minutes, and the second you turn off the treadmill, that stops. Whereas with weight training, if you're lifting heavy in that 4 to 6 range, you're smashing your squats, your deadlifts, your overhead press, your bench press, etc. That exertion, that requires a lot of calories to actually exert and lift that heavy weight. And then once you finish your workout regime, because you've damaged your muscles, the ripping of the muscle fibers, etc., your body needs to recover. And that recovery process as well uses a lot more calories to recover, because, when you're doing cardio, realistically, you haven't actually, damaged any muscle fibers, etc. So there's nothing to recover. So that's where the increased burn stops. Whereas when you're doing your weights, you have that extended burn. So you have that longer boost in your metabolism, which of course is beneficial, burning more calories, putting you into that deficit, getting shredded. So those are the key points, guys. Another thing is, supplements, etc. Once again, they're just there like fat burners to help you get into that deficit and to suppress your appetite. So the same key principles I told you to ensure you're in a deficit, so drinking more water to keep you feeling fuller, dietary fiber, increasing your protein intake, etc. Those are the same principles, and eating lots of leafy greens, because those are contain high dietary fiber, and for what you're getting, they're very calorically low, so they're very low in calories. So you can eat more, and realistically, you're not going to go over your maintenance level of calories. You're not going to be in a calorie surplus, so to speak. So implementing those things will suppress your appetite, along with, take some green tea extract if you like, and caffeine are the 2 fat loss supplements I recommend. But in terms of these commercial fat burners, guys, they're all rubbish. So if you look at the container on any of them, they're all using proprietary matrices. They're not disclosing the ingredients. They're not disclosing the quantity of various ingredients and things, because they just underdose them. They use things that don't work. They use things that aren't proven. They pad the supplement, essentially. They pad the ingredients to make you think that you're getting more than you really are. So you don't need any of that. Just follow these principles. Like I said, 2 supplements I recommend: green tea extract, caffeine. I'd recommend, if you haven't already, check out my best-selling book on Amazon, which is called FU Fat. I'll put the link in the description below. It's currently ranked as the #1 bestseller in the men's health category. And yeah, it's 145 pages, covers everything you need to know about getting shredded, from diet, workout regime, supplementation, etc. I've done fitness modeling. I've spent the last 5 years transforming my physique. So I'm not just some internet marketer here that's trying to tell you how to get shredded fast. I know what I'm talking about. I use all the techniques I talk about. Check it out below. Thanks for watching, guys.